All right, now we're going to move on to Unit 1, Lesson 18 in code.org for Comp Sci A and go to Part D, Population Simulator. All right, so that Bank 1 Part C was kind of nasty in that I had to pay attention to different stuff, right? Like what's going on with uh the bank, what's going on with or the balance, is it greater than is it going to lead to an overflow which results in negative, right? So that was kind of a little bit more painful than I wanted it to be. But here we are. Okay. For population growth. We're going to read all this stuff, but basically we want to know whether the current population, I'm guessing, is going to exceed the greatest amount, and then we're going to check and see if it does lead to an overflow error, then we need to note that the number was too big, basically. That's what I'm getting from reading this. You can read it again, check it out yourself. Again, we have the main class here. So it's going to execute all the code and be the quarterback. The other class or file, Population Growth Simulator, is what we're going to go ahead and write the recipes or methods or actions in, which is down here. I like to note what are the variables already created. So we have current population, obviously. And then it looks like when I create a population growth simulator object, it's going to want some sort of integer inside the parentheses to pre-populate the initial population with. And then down here is the method we're going to write. So it's going to take in some sort of percentage growth rate as a decimal and feed that into my method. And that method is going to go ahead and check if the population increases to a point where it would cause an overflow error. If it does, reject the request and return false. If it doesn't cause an overflow error, increase the population by the growth percentage. Cool. Okay. So it looks like they have some of the formulas in here already for me to use, which is nice and helpful. So I don't have to rewrite the formula. Um, and I'm just checking their formula. They're taking the percentage because it's some sort of decimal, dividing by 100 and adding one. Okay. So obviously this is going to be some sort of multiplier that they use here. So I'm just looking at the formula they have, and that does look mathematically correct. Okay. So now knowing this, and I'm just seeing is there any return? There's nothing else. So it looks like they have right here some numbers they want me to check. This is where they want me to write that conditional. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go back and forth here. Let me go ahead and smush this a bit so it fits on my little video so you can kind of see everything. Okay, so I'm going to check if the new population exceeds the maximum value. They already did the math for me. So it looks like I'm going to bust out an if statement, right? And I'm going to go ahead and check and see, does this new population we just calculated, is that greater than the integer dot max value? So I'm going to set up the conditional like that. Does it exceed the maximum value for int? Now, here's something I want you to just check, and I'm kind of curious at this point, is new population is a decimal value. Will it still compare it to an integer value? I think yes. I don't see why there would be a problem there. But if you're worried at all by the fact that, hey, is there like any issues, you could cast if you want from a double to an INT. I get a little bit nervous about that because you're going to truncate, remember, which could lead to a loss of data. So I'm going to try and avoid that for now and let's just test this thing. Okay, so first off, this is going to lead to an overflow error, right? So we need to, it told me to print, I think some words specifically. It says, if true, population, okay, so if it's false, the new population should be printed regardless of whether or not the operation is successful. So I'm going to print and maybe note that, doesn't it say, there's some, oh, here you go, reject the request and return false. Okay, so, I'm just going to say reject the request and return false. So I'm putting that all in that, and I think they also wanted me to still, oh, and then return false. That's all they want me to do. Okay, so I'm going to print out that, and we're going to return false. That means once it hits the return, this little simulation is done. So that's option A. Option B is, hey, there's no issues here. In which case, there's other code I want it to run, which it tells me to do right here. If it doesn't cause an overflow error, increase the anti-population by the growth percentage and return true. Okay, so are we okay with Well, first off, let me just print this, right? So it wants me to print that it worked. Simulation works, and it wants me to increase population by some sort of percentage, right? Which is they just calculate it. I think it's growth. Oh, by the growth percentage. They want me to show that, looks like. And sorry, I'm running out of room, but we want to show percent, right? That way our audience knows. Okay, so kind of long-winded way of saying we're going to print, hey, this we're not leading to an overflow. Summation works, increase population by the percentage rate. And then I think it also wants me to print the actual population, probably. Okay, and then I'm just checking. Sorry, this is a little bit weird. If it doesn't cause an overflow error, increase the INT population by the growth percentage and return true. But I think it wants me to print it. So sometimes their comments doesn't match the to dos, so just be careful. Either way, it needs to print the population. So let's go and print it. Okay. Well, first thing I need to do is I need the new population to actually grow. Okay. So they already did the growth factor, etc. Um, the new population. Okay. So they have a new population already calculated for me, but the thing is, I still need to calculate the current population, right? So I'm be saying, hey, so there, what are you talking about? So again, we have a variable way up here that's created called current population. Note that when I create an object using the population growth simulator, the current population is what's updated. Okay, so again, we have an object that spawns. The variable that is attached with it is the current population. So down here, do you see how it says new population is being calculated? Right? It did the formula and everything, which is cool. But the problem is it never updated the current population. So why don't we go ahead and update it? Right? So again, current population is what's following my object around. So what I need to do is I need to right now it's double. Current population is an INT. If new population is a double, we're going to have some problems here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and guess what? Do a cast. I'm just going to go ahead and print it. So system.println, new population is, and let's go ahead and print the current population. I've done a lot of coding. I should have been checking as I went along. And there we go. There's some errors. Oh, there's no return. Whoopsies. Yeah, it wants me to return true here. Okay, I'm gonna run again, see if I have any issues, which I don't. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do the to do number two. It wants me to create a new population growth simulator object. Just say Tokyo was new population growth simulator, and we'll give it, I don't know, 100,000 or a million people. And oh, and then I need to call the object. That's right. No errors here. So we're going to use Tokyo dot simulate population growth, and then give it some sort of decimal. I don't know, 55%. Okay, so it increased it. That looks good. What if I did 550%? So I'm just kind of trying to break this now. Okay, so we're still good. So I'm going to increase the value by that one factor of 10. I'm just trying to get this thing to break and result in overflow error, so bear with me. I might need to add another factor. Okay, we'll add you another zero. Okay, there we go. So clearly I got a number big enough to where the actual if finally um, worked. Okay, so that's that. Let me test this. Did I pass the little test? I did. So now we're done. All right, let me know if you have questions.